This right here, this is my fill hole. Okay, when I got the machine, there was no fill hole. So, you know, the only way you could fill it up was to actually take the entire top off. Which, you know, you always have stuff sitting up there, kind of a pain in the butt. So what I did was, I dug around and found the biggest tap I had. And turned out to be that. So then what I did was I drilled and tapped the hole in here, and I went and bought or found a bolt, I don't remember, big enough. And so basically one of my very first projects on this machine was making this, and it's just machined out of a bolt. You know, it's not exactly pretty or anything like that. It's just to be functional. I could put, you know, a little rubber gasket under it there or something like that, but, you know, it doesn't get a puddle of flood coolant or anything like that up here. It does get some chips. I just clean around it and that stuff, kind of like the oil filter or the oil fill cap on your valve cover on your car. You know, just clean it up a little bit for you. Throw it in there. But I am going to take the top off today because I want to take a look in there. It's one of the few times I've got the stuff off the machine. I already did blow them out once. Just in case there's any extra around there. Okay. Oh! And if you look around here, there's a hole right here. So there's a valley all the way around, and there's a hole here and a hole here. Which go down to the shaft. I can't tell you for sure whether they do the bearings or not. I would think so. If you haven't seen inside here before, you know, that one runs back and forth, and basically it goes from a low gear here to a high gear. Okay. Other way around. This is the low gear. So this is the input. There's a shaft down here on the bottom that comes from the belt. See those bottom gears right down there? Yeah, bearing bath oil there. So they turn this one. So there's our different speeds. Whoops. You know, so that's one speed. Okay, yeah, so this one's engaged here. Comes over and engages this one. Here we go. And then the other one all the way over there. Cool. So that's all there is basically for the primary gearing. It's going through that arm over there. That's how that's moving back and forth. This one swings another arm over here that moves that one. Okay, there we go. So you can see the top one turning here. And that's for threading and stuff like that. But and a lot of the lathes, like the older Atlases and stuff like that, I think, had just this to run the carriage back and forth. But this one has a power crossfeed, so they have to be able to run separate. Okay, so this rod here, when you switch this over, so it shows threads here and cutting here. That makes the bottom one run. Okay, and then it drives through this key. So there's a gear with a key in there that slides back and forth and always stays engaged, and that's what powers the parts in the saddle. This thing is just simply the switch. So there's a lever down there on my that's how I turn it on and off. So I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to drain this oil out and put some new stuff in. Now we're going to get a little creative here. I have seen this done on cars and stuff like that before. Not necessarily with this tape. You could probably use duct tape. But I have this, so, and it's out. Just aluminum repair tape. I picked up a couple of rolls of these things at Harbor Freight or something like that at some point. And they're too thin for like muffler repair and stuff like that. But what I used them for was instead of simply painting the inside of the blinkers and stuff like that, the rust buckets and that, I sandblasted them out, painted them, but then this is way more reflective than the paint. So I put this into the blinkers, into the buckets, so that they would get a lot more light reflection. So this would be a lot easier if I had this gear out of the way, but and there may not be enough. Nope, it's not sticking enough. Let's try a bit more brake cleaner, see if that helps. I think you get the idea what I'm trying to do here. Will it work? Who knows? First time I've tried it. I'm kind of thinking that's enough. I just need it to come down and direct it out here basically so that I can put it into the the pan. That'll hold some, certainly enough to get me started. This 5/16, close enough to 8mm. And this is the first time ever. I've added oil to it over the years, but even when I bought it new, I never drained it. Oh. Well, I guess I'll be cleaning that again. It's pretty, it's sparkly. I was thinking about putting synthetic in, but everything I read, I spent, I don't know, good 45 minutes to an hour on the net looking, trying to find out, and I didn't find any specific tests, at least none that I looked at, but I did find a few people, a handful of people, everybody basically was talking, saying that the Vector number 2 motor oil non-detergent is the best for this. Maybe that's what the whey oil is called too. Anyway, I'll show you when I pull the can out here to fill this back up. But because it's non-detergent, and so what it is well, I don't think it's the non-detergent. It's non-detergent, which I'm not quite sure. I guess it doesn't foam up or something. I don't know. But they said that it doesn't hold any of the metal and debris and stuff like that in suspension. It lets it all settle out to the bottom. So we'll see when we get down to the bottom just how much crap is down there. Yeah, it looks kind of sparkly, but I'm not sure if that could just simply be really tiny little air bubbles, since I had this thing running at 2,000 RPMs just a short while ago. So there's one open bearing right there. I'd be willing to bet the other ones back behind here are too. Oh! Poor planning. I knew I'd have to worry about it filling up, but I wasn't paying attention. What's coming out here is just perfectly nice and clean, so nicer, but alright, there's the oil I'm using. I bought it just at the local car parts store. It's just straight SAE 30. It's not a multi-viscosity oil or anything like that, non-detergent. That's what was recommended for this machine. Okay, so anyway, there's a sight glass down here. And there's a red line in it. So since it's kind of a pain in the butt to use the filter and pour the oil, not the filter, the funnel, and pour that in, I'm just simply going to pour it in from before I put the top back on. Basically just want to wipe the dust off to the point where I'm not going to get anything, you know, falling off this when I put it in here. Now this jug's a good bit heavier because it's nearly full. Alright. Starting to see it come up here. Want to give it a little time to settle since I'm pouring it down on some gears and that stuff. I went a hair high. Am I going to worry about it? Nope. Because this thing leaks oil anyway, so I don't remember if that's supposed to be on the red line while it's running or static. I would bet static. You don't check your dipstick in the car with it running. But yeah, it'll drop a lot when you fire up the gearbox. Guess I got lucky and got it lined up pretty close. So I keep a oil can like this. I keep one with 30 weight in, same stuff I just put in the gear case. I keep another one. Oh, actually, it's right there. And this has got whey oil. So that one I use to squirt on the wheys and stuff like that. This one, there's oiling points here that I have to oil. So that gives me an easy way to put 30 weight right into there. And actually, if you can see the sight glass, when I turn it on, it actually goes, I'm about an 1/8 inch above, it goes an 1/8 inch below. First time I've been able to read this plate in years. I don't have the gears set up the way it shows, so it doesn't do me any good. But one of these days I'll switch them back. Build date, May 6th, 0406 of 1992.